Many people love the flaky texture of a baklava, but they often complain because it's just too sweet. This is why this recipe is so great. It's sweet, but not too sweet. Let's get started. Cut 3 sticks of butter into small cubes. Then put them in a saucepan and melt them on low heat. It takes time, so be patient and occasionally stir. Don't burn the butter. I know it seems like a lot of butter, but it's better to have more than less because once you start working with filo dough, you don't have time to melt more butter. Once it's completely melted, remove from the heat. While the butter is cooling down, let's grind the walnuts. Put them in a food processor and just pulse. Don't grind too much. We want to chew some nuts, so just pulse. If you don't have a food processor, coarsely chop nuts with a knife. Of course, you can use pistachios, almonds, or any nuts you like. But I like to use walnuts for my baklava because this is a great way to eat more walnuts. Put panko breadcrumbs, cinnamon, and pinch of salt and mix well. This looks good. It's time we worked with filo dough. Put a dry towel first, then put a damp towel over a big, deep baking pan. We have to cover filo dough with a damp towel at all times because filo dough dries out so quickly. But if the damp towel touches the filo dough, that will ruin the dough and we cannot use it. So, we put a dry towel first and then put a damp towel. This way, the damp towel prevents filo dough from drying out and the dry towel will protect the filo dough from getting soggy from the damp towel. Got it? We need another baking pan to bake baklava. Brush the bottom and the sides of the baking pan with butter. Put extra butter so the filo dough won't stick. Put 1 sheet of filo dough in the pan. Quickly cover the remaining filo dough with towels. Brush the filo dough with butter. You have to brush with butter every inch of filo dough. Then you move on with the next one. Otherwise, filo dough will stick together and you won't have that flaky texture. I don't know whether you can see it. My filo dough is already wet, so they are stuck together. It seems like I need another dry towel to protect my filo dough. Filo dough is so thin, so it easily breaks. When that happens, lay it as well as you can. Repeat like this until when you have at least 10 sheets. Then sprinkle a quarter of nut mixture. After nut mixture, it's a little bit hard to brush, but just brush as well as you can. Once you have brushed 5 more sheets, then sprinkle a quarter of the nut mixture again. So it goes like this: 10 sheets, nuts, 5 sheets, nuts, 5 sheets, nuts, 5 sheets, nuts, and then 15 sheets or whatever you have left. On the last sheet, put extra butter so it won't get dry in the oven. With a paring knife, score the dough. Once you bake it, you cannot cut. That will break a flaky baklava. Some people cut it into diamonds. Some people cut it into triangles. I'm not that crafty, so I will just cut simple squares. Run the knife through the edge as well. Put the baking pan in the oven at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes. While baklava is baking, we need to make a syrup. Put water and honey in a saucepan and stir. Gently boil. Then squeeze half a lemon. Do not skip the lemon. Lemon cuts down the sweetness from the honey and makes the honey so much more pleasant. By making baklava at home, you can control the sweetness and supplement sugar with honey, which is a healthier option. Once the baklava is out of the oven, immediately pour the honey syrup over the baklava. You will hear the sizzling sound. Now that's a happy sound. Let it sit uncovered on the kitchen counter for 5 to 6 hours. Garnish it with chopped nuts and serve. The crunchy sound and the nuts are falling down. Isn't it just great? Bon appetit!